Moving on to the Chicago Bulls, and with their new head coach, Billy Donovan. What does the signing of Billy mean for Chicago? How does this help them?
Yeah, it's weird. Billy, when he came into the NBA, he automatically had two of the best players in Westbrook and Durant. So and then last season, Chris Paul. We've never seen him with a rebuilding team. The only time, well, I guess Russ's MVP season wasn't a rebuilding team, but it was a bad team, and he's never had success in the playoffs. So, like, I can understand why they would hire him, but again, it's weird because we've never seen him like rebuild a team before, so we have no clue what's going to happen.
Well, yeah, he obviously OKC obviously didn't think that he was the right man to rebuild us, OKC, because obviously we're in the start of a rebuild now, and he's gone. And obviously watching Billy Donovan basketball over the past how many years he's been there, a lot of hate for him, not from me
Yeah,
personally, just from the fan base. There's multiple times where he just gets things horribly wrong. Like tactically, he didn't really seem too well equipped to especially to run in the playoffs. Like as you see,
yeah,
first round, like four first round knockouts in a row. Like, I mean, that's an upgrade for the Bulls.
yeah. It's an upgrade for sure, but it's like it's weird. I know for like the past few years, Thunder fans, I I think they hated Billy Donovan for the most part. But then last season, he definitely saved his reputation, like Chris Paul did. Um, do you think his reputation was saved because of Chris Paul, or did he save Chris Paul's reputation? Like,
Well, that's the
who
thing.
benefited more from each other?
That's the thing. You look at it when we had Russ and KD, and when we had just Russ, people would hate him because it would look like he wasn't running the team. It looked like Russ was in charge. And then Russ leaves, CP3 comes in, and you could say the same. It looked like CP3 was running the team rather than Billy Donovan. And then when we came into the playoffs, like I said, first two games of the playoffs, we run like a 12-man rotation. And it's like, you've been in the playoffs before, Billy. You understand how this works. And you're still getting it horribly, horribly wrong. So, it obviously, 'cause we don't know because we're not in the camps. We don't know if Russ was dominating the OKC huddles. We don't know if he was in charge and everybody was listening to him, or it was Billy and Billy was just getting it wrong. And we don't know if when Russ left and CP3 came in, if it was the same thing. CP3 was leading it and getting it right, and Billy Donovan benefited off that. So this is the season, and we'll see what type of coach he is. Is he gonna help this Bulls team, or is Zach LaVine gonna kind of push in and be like, well, I've seen you let Russ do whatever he wanted practically at OKC. He ran every play, he shot wherever he wanted. Is Zach LaVine going to see that and think, why can't I do that at the Bulls? Because he's got that mentality. Zach LaVine knows that he's a good basketball player and he wants to try and be the best. So he might look at that and think, well, let me be the Russ. Let me run every possession. Let me take every ball. Let me do all this. So this season, I think we're going to see who Billy Donovan actually is as a coach. Because also Zach LaVine isn't he isn't that player like CP3 or Russ. We don't know if he's going to walk in and because he might have seen it and think, well, I'll give it a go, but he might not. So it could be
I
this season
think
where we actually see who Billy Donovan is.
he's not afraid to let people know that he knows he's good, But I don't think Zach is the type of player who you can sort of build around. He can't be like the franchise player. He can't be the main guy. But I think he thinks he is. He has that sort of mentality, kind of like Kyrie. Not as toxic as Kyrie, of
I was
course.
going to say, it's a bit like Kyrie. You need a partner in with a superstar. He's not the superstar, but he probably thinks he is the superstar.
Exactly. Yeah, and is Billy strong enough to deal with that sort of personality? I don't know. I'm not sure at all. Um, as you said, it seemed like he did take a sort of a backseat role to Russ. But then again, when you have a player who's capable of a 30-point triple double on a nightly basis, it's kind of like the easy way out. Saying, yeah, you just do what you do, and I'll be fine with that. So maybe that's poor from Billy. Like he didn't really build a team. He just said to us, "Do what you do," and that was it. and he was good enough to make the playoffs every year, and he's got a good, coaching winning percentage because of it. But now, as you said, now we're going to see Billy. Like now we'll get to see who he is as a coach. But one player who I think will benefit massively is Larry Markkinen. As a rookie, he saw what he's capable of. Then Jim Boylan came in and completely changed how he plays. Instead of giving him open 3-point three-point looks, he put him inside to get rebounds, even though Markkinen is not a rebounder. But you saw what Billy did with Gallinari last season, a stretch four who can put the ball on the floor, a very good shooter. That's exactly what Markkinen is. So I think we'll finally get to see Markkinen at his best ability. And I wouldn't be surprised if he can get to 18, 20 points per game.
Yeah, and like you said about Gallinari, he averaged in the regular season 3 3-pointers per game. I think he went on. He went on like a run throughout like the majority of the season where he would hit 3 threes a game, like every game, like consistently. He'd make 3, and it's such an awkward shooter, but it would always go in. And like you said,
and again, you can go back to the point where did Gallinari get those shots because Chris Paul is the greatest playmaker of all time? Or was that because of Billy's play calling?
Yeah, this is like Billy Donovan's make or break as a coach.
Yeah, because you look at this Chicago team. Where's the playmaking? Kobe White, the point guard, is a shoot first player. Zach LaVine doesn't even look at passing. Otto Porter is not a passer. There's very little playmaking. I suppose you could say Thomas Satoransky, but if that's your best playmaker, you're kind of in trouble, Chris Dunn is a decent playmaker, but he's out of contract. So there's a lot of work to be done. I just can't wait to see how Billy comes out of this situation.
Like I said in the intro, I've made this Chicago Bulls team into a championship winning team on 2K. There's one man I brought in. Well, there's 2 men I brought in that made the big. 3 men. There's a lot of men I brought in. I changed the whole roster, but I know Obi Toppin isn't a good player in real life, but goddamn is he good on 2K. I also traded the centers for Mitchell Robinson. Great idea. I also brought in Paul George. Great idea. Also managed to trade for Dennis Schroeder. The team was amazing. Zach LaVine broke Michael Jordan's scoring record in the playoffs.
But unfortunately, we live in a real world.
What do you mean? You're telling me that Kobe White won't be 6th man of the year?
Maybe in 5 years' time.
I haven't got that much time, mate. I haven't got that much time. But it's this season's all about Billy Donovan. Because the reason I weren't hating Billy Donovan as much as the rest of the fan base were is because I didn't know if he was in charge. It's like I get hating because he's taking control of his players, but I'm like, what's going on? I'm confused. Who's in charge here? And then when Russ left, I thought maybe we'll see some Billy Donovan action. No, CP3 came in, and he was in charge, and he was great. If we need a head coach, if CP3 wants to just retire and become our head coach, that could be pretty cool. But yeah, good luck to Billy. Great coach in college. What picks do the Bulls have?
They got the 4th pick.
That's an interesting one because you're saying about they need a playmaker. They could draft a really good playmaker.
Well, LaMelo Ball is a fantastic playmaker. Would he be there for? Potentially. He could be. So if I was Chicago, obviously you don't take a shooting guard at number 4 because of Zach LaVine. Markkinen at power forward, that's fine. Wendell Carter at center, that's fine. So you're looking mainly at point guard and small forward. And luckily, this draft is stacked. At the top of the draft, there's many good options. If you want a point guard, LaMelo Ball, Killian Hayes, Tyrese Halliburton, there's very good options there. If small forward, Denny Avdia, I saw he's a massive Bolts fan. So that could be a match made in heaven. He wants to play for him. Devin Vassell, but did I send you his jump shot video?
Yeah.
Where it was, yeah. After that jump shot video, I've kind of soured on him. But you never know. The
thing is with the top 3 projected are LaMelo, Wiseman and Edwards.
Edwards.
And they're all very interchangeable because we saw Timberwolves said they don't want to pick anybody. Golden State, you said the small forward, what was his name? I'm going to pronounce it wrong. Yeah.
They had him for a workout and they loved him.
They loved him. So obviously they have the second pick. You could go there, and then that opens like whoever. Say if the Timberwolves pick Edwards, then then they pick Denny in second, and then the third and fourth is going to be Wiseman or LaMelo, and then you're looking LaMelo could fall to the fourth and go to the Bulls.
Yeah, I think that probably would be the best case scenario. But then, if you're in a situation where LaMelo and Denny is gone, where do you go from there? Do you just reach for the next best player at those positions, or do you just take best player available and James Wiseman?
Well, it could be James Wiseman. It could be Edwards. Depends on what Timberwolves do with that pick if they decide to pick. I assume they wouldn't go for Wiseman because they have Cat. But
what? These are the Timberwolves.
Yeah, so I said it depends what the Timberwolves do with the first pick.
About the Bulls.
Yeah, no. If the Timberwolves decide to trade away their first pick to somebody, then somebody will have that player in mind. They'll either want the LaMelo, they'll want the powerful shooting guard Edwards, or they'd want the big man. But yeah, Timberwolves are unlikely to draft Wiseman.
Yeah, they should not draft him.
So
I think Edwards is the best pick, even though out of the top three players, there's no perfect fit for him. But we get onto that anyway when we get to the Timberwolves.
Yeah.
But would you take Wiseman for the Bulls? Because a center front court, a center rotation of Wiseman and Wendell Carter could be pretty good in the future.
I'm not a big fan of Wendell Carter, so I think maybe bringing in Wiseman.
I think that's more Jim Boylan not knowing how to use a versatile center.
Maybe that's the other thing as well. This team, like Kobe White as well. I'm a fan of Kobe White, mainly for 2K reasons, but I think he also played quite well in the summer league as well. But I'm a fan of Kobe White, and now with a coach like Billy Donavan, who we had a list of players like you said about Gallinari made him play well, but also it could be CP3. Jeremy Grant as well, players like that he made that were coached under Billy Donovan and were made better. Can he give that step to players like Kobe White and Markkanen and Wendell Carter? So it's not just Billy Donovan we're going to see how good he is. It's these young players that he's got as well. How good are these players going to be? Hopefully very good, because I really like Kobe White.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I really can't wait to see how Billy Donovan is a completely different environment, and he could either be incredible or out the league in 2 years' time. You can never know.
Yeah, I'm just excited for the draft because, like we said, those the three projected 1, 2, and 3 are so interchangeable, and then you throw Golden State in there, who won Denny, and you throw Timberwolves in there who don't even want the first pick. So the draft's going to be really interesting this year.
I wouldn't be surprised if someone like LaMelo falls to 6 or Wiseman falls to 9. That could happen. I wouldn't be surprised at all.
Depends how good the scouting is on teams.
Yeah, there's not a big gap between players, so I feel like it's literally down to preference.
Yeah. I can't wait to do our mock drafts. It's going to be very interesting.
LaMelo is on my number 1 point guard. Wiseman is on my number 1 center. It's down to preference at the end of the day.
Be a good time. Yeah, so the Bulls. So this season, Bulls fans, pray that Billy Donovan is a good coach and can help your young players improve.
Well, he can't be much worse than Boylan.
Oh, no. I don't think there is many worse coaches in the league than Jim Boylan, as we saw. Hope you get the respect, Billy Donovan, of Zach LaVine, so he doesn't cuss you out live on television when they put the cameras in after a timeout. And that was against OKC actually, when he dropped 40 points and they were down by loads and they called the timeout and he got annoyed and then picked up the ball and then scored a half court spin move 3-pointer. Zach LaVine's got talent. I'm a big fan. I like this Bulls team. I really do. Good luck to them. I hope they get into the first round and get knocked out. Good luck.
The Billy Donovan special.
The Billy Donovan special. That'll be 5 years in a row for him.